The ball played forward and everyone bar Kenny Arthur is now inside the Peterhead half of the field. It's played forward. Mark Perry gets ahead of the way. Strachan chips it into the penalty area. Ritchie's after that, heads it across the box, comes up to Murray, and he snaps shot with the left foot, swerving just wide of the post there. It all opened up for Grant Murray, but well, his left foot's not his better one. It was a pretty decent effort nonetheless, but it flew just wide, and we are deep inside the final minute of normal time. I haven't seen the board go up to say how long will be added on. It's about to go up now. The fourth official inside the technical area.
Dick Campbell's telling his players 3 minutes.
3 minutes between Peterhead and a place in the First Division next season for a team who were in the Highland League until 6 years ago. Partick Thistle with a proud history in Scottish football, but this will do them no good at all if they were to stay down in the Second Division. A full-time club with full-time money to pay out, of course, and they're staring at another year at least in the Second Division unless they can find a miracle goal in these additional 3 minutes. We are already into the 3 minutes to be added on. Peterhead going forward. It's Bobby Lynn, edge of the area, gets a little bit of space, looks for a bit of room to get the ball in. He's got 4 players swarming around him. He still has it, gets a left foot shot off eventually, but it was well blocked, and it's come back as far as Gibson. Gibson chips it down the right hand side, almost to the byline. Sharp chasing after that. Does he keep it in? No, he doesn't. It goes out for the goal kick, and Peterhead will get plenty of players back behind the ball. Kenny Arthur scurrying across to take it. There are 2.5 minutes to go in this game. It is still Peterhead holding the advantage by 3 goals to 2 on aggregate. 1-1 in the afternoon. The ball's with Mark Perry, heads it back into the opposition half of the field, but again Bobby Lynn not concentrating, and really had no excuse for it on that occasion. The ball headed forward. If he'd just taken a couple of steps back towards his own half, he could have run down the clock even further. As it is, there's a chance for Partick to lump the ball into the penalty area. It's hung high towards the edge of the box. Cameron wins the header, but only back into his own penalty box. Roberts is there, flicked back by Gibson. Ritchie manages to win it. It's a free kick to Partick Thistle. It's drama right to the very last second of the Scottish season, and Alan Freeland standing there 25 yards from goal, just to the right of centre field. It's Gibson spotting it up for Partick Thistle. Maybe one last chance to keep their hopes alive. It's Billy Gibson who will take it. He's got Strachan there as well. There's a 4-man Peterhead wall, and he takes a long run up at this one. Deep into stoppage time then. Gibson drives it through the wall, takes a deflection, and it is into the net, and Partick Thistle have salvaged their season. I think it deflected off Mark Roberts. It doesn't matter to those fans on the far side. It doesn't matter to the Partick Thistle players who are going absolutely crazy, and it doesn't matter to Dick Campbell and Jimmy Bone either, because 1.5 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the season, we have more drama in Scottish football. It is Peterhead 1, Partick Thistle 2. It's Peterhead 3, Partick Thistle 3 on aggregate, and it looks like we're heading for extra time.
Well, I've never seen. I was at Hampden yesterday, and magnificent scenes between Hearts and Gretna, but when you saw that stand opposite, it was just erupting when the ball went in the back of the net. It's quite incredible. We'll talk about the atmosphere of a real cup tie. Well, we've got it now. What an atmosphere.
Sharp is through on the right hand side for Peterhead. Is there more drama? He plays it in. It's a corner and goes out for a corner kick. How costly those 2 shots against the uprights in the second half for Peterhead when they could have killed the tie off then. How costly is that going to prove? They have one last chance then to grab it in normal time as it's played in from the right hand side to the near post, headed away. Thistle had dragged everyone, bar McConnell back. It's with McConnell now. It takes a deflection, and Alan Freeland looks at the watch. I make it that there's 3 seconds less than that. It's surely all over in terms of the 90 minutes. Partick Thistle have never beaten Peterhead over 90 minutes in their 6 previous meetings of the club. It looks as though they're going to do it just when they needed it most, with a dramatic finale to the season. It's played away. The full-time whistle goes. We're going to have extra time in the playoff, and the Thistle players punching the air because they will feel, well, they did win the game on the afternoon, but they will have such a huge psychological boost going into the extra time. Some of those Peterhead players look absolutely shattered by what transpired in the dying seconds. It's high drama, and at the end of a dramatic 90 minutes, it finished Peterhead 1, Partick Thistle 2 on aggregate. Peterhead 3, Partick Thistle 3. The extra time going up. think you're talking about, what, 66 years of experience between the pair of them, and they just allowed it to go out for a goal kick.
They dealt with it very well indeed. It was a good build-up again with Partick Thistle, nothing in the end of it. But, you know, Partick should press on and try and get the goal. It looks to me as if both teams have settled for penalties this stage of the game already.
Amazing, because of course the long league campaign and then 4 playoff matches, extra time as well, and it may all still come down to a penalty shootout to decide. So many big issues for these clubs, of course. Partick Thistle, a full-time team with full-time responsibilities, and they'll be desperate to get through and get up a division. The pressure on Dick Campbell to do that. They finished 31 points behind Gretna, 13 points behind second place Morton, of course, but given a lifeline because of the new playoff system and a late challenge there, and again just through tiredness more than anything from Nicol. I think a foul on Gibson inside the centre circle, and a chance for Thistle to throw bodies forward. Again, they're not doing it recklessly though, they're giving enough back for any counter attack. 2.5 minutes to go, plus any stoppage time at the end of extra time. It is Grant Murray to play it forward from deep into the area. Ritchie's the target. Ritchie wins it against Buchan. It's brought down and played away by Peterhead defence. It was Nicol who got it away. Murray clips it back into the area. Mathers comes out and comfortably gathers and then sends it out to this near side, and it's with Sharp, but he's restricted in movement at the moment, so he can't make a dashing run forward, and still he plays it back to Mark Perry. Perry takes the touch, he's forced back towards his own goal. It's with Tully. Tully closed down quickly. Nicol making the angle for him though, and he gets him out of a bit of danger there. Now Cameron, who will certainly take one of the penalties for Peterhead, their regular taker, if it comes to that, of course. We still have 1.5 minutes to go here. It's just hung high in the air, and it's a chase on for Gibson, Keith Gibson at Peterhead, but it's played away up into the opposition half of the field. It's now with Mark Perry, 1.5 minutes to go. Perry clips it forward. Bavidge, who's limping heavily, goes after that, making a gallant attempt to try and get there, but the ball's fed down at the opposition half of the field, into the Peterhead half of the field for Strachan to chase, and he puts the pressure on, and Tully comes across and he knocks it out, and you can feel, you can almost cut the tension with a knife here. Both sets of fans have gone very, very quiet in the dying seconds of extra time. They know so much is at stake in the next 90 seconds as a long throw goes all the way through, and Perry will allow it to go out. Will his goalkeeper? No, he goes across to Paul Mathers just to take charge of the situation. We're into the last minute. There's not going to be any additional time. We're almost at penalty kicks.
Scott, if I was this, I would have switched back already to the 3-4-3 system. I really would have had a go, because there's not a lot to worry about up front with Sharp now, who's been a good performer today, struggling totally. Bavidge can't run either. They've only got Lynn. He's well just going for it, and I would have thought Thistle, the game was there for Thistle to win it if they just push forward and take a chance on it, get Roberts up alongside the likes of Ritchie up there and Strachan, and have a real goal.
Paul Mathers, the assistant manager of Peterhead, up to the halfway line, maybe one last chance. A bit of blocking, a bit of wrestling, and well, Dick Campbell is again 5 yards onto the park. He's having to be physically restrained by the assistant referee, and Alan Freeland is coming across to have a word with Dick Campbell. I know the tension is building. There's so much at stake for Dick. There's all these rumours that if they don't go up, then he might be the one that pays the price. At least he's seeing the funny side of things now with Alan Freeland, who's just explaining, look, that's your technical area, that's the park, stay in the technical area. The bonnet goes back on the head. There's a little smile between the two of them. It's diffused the situation, thankfully. But, well, to get so aerated in the dying seconds of the game for a free kick on the halfway line, it shows the commitment of Dick Campbell, doesn't it?
It shows you what's at stake here. I mean, it could even be his job.
And that's it. We've come to the end of the extra 30 minutes. It is penalty kicks. These teams have gone through a season that started way back at the end of July, I believe. In fact, the start of August, because it was a cup tie that started the season for the lower league teams. But they've gone through all those games, through all the months. They've gone through the drama of 2 playoffs, 2 two-layer playoffs, and the extra time in the final, and it's going to come down to penalty kicks. Kenny Arthur just running up the tunnel at the moment, call of nature, and you can understand that. He must be feeling, be a bit of tweaking in the bowels for him at the moment, with the nerves of what he's got to face in the next few minutes. And the players just sorting out who are going to take the penalties. And Thistle come from the vantage point of knowing that they have already won a penalty shootout this season. At the end of extra time, it was Peterhead 1, Partick Thistle 2, 3-3 on aggregate.
that's their heroes for this penalty shootout. 2 or 3 of those players absolutely dead on their feet. Actually, Will Snowden of Partick Thistle, so he was really struggling just towards the end there as well. Would you believe it? Would you believe that it could be quite such a dramatic weekend to finish off this season, 2005-2006. It went to penalties to decide the Tennant Scottish Cup yesterday at Hampden, and here at Balmoor we're going to have penalties again. It will be interesting to see if the likes of Martin Bavidge and Sharp, Graham Sharp, whether they come into the equation at all, because they can barely stand, and Bavidge is getting all sorts of stretching done there on that hamstring that has caused them problems. More and more of the players are disappearing up the tunnel. Maybe the nerves just beginning to get them. Kenny Arthur is back out, and I'm sure all the players will be back out, and they'll be preparing themselves for this nerve-wracking conclusion. Grant Murray, I see the Partick Thistle captain, big strong handshake there with Kenny Arthur. Dick Campbell, bonnet on, he's coming across to Kenny Arthur too, and well, the goalkeepers, I guess, can hardly lose in these situations. No one expects you to save a penalty, do you? But if they do save it, they can be an instant hero for the individuals who are taking the kicks, and it's an entirely different story. The pressure is very much on then. The Partick Thistle players going across to their fans and giving them a round of applause, and now the Peterhead players are rousing the Peterhead fans, and this is going to be very dramatic indeed. Remember, earlier on, Berwick Rangers came from behind to beat Alloa 2-1, but Alloa won 5-2 on aggregate in the second division playoff final. This is the first division playoff final. Peterhead winning 2-1 at Firhill, Partick Thistle winning 2-1 here at Balmoor. 3-3 extra time couldn't separate them. The Peterhead players are lined up with their arms around each other along the halfway line. I think the Partick Thistle players will follow suit. Kenny Arthur gets another handshake, a good luck handshake from Jimmy Bone. And now Paul Mathers and Kenny Arthur, who have come across each other many times over the years. Big handshake and a big hug between the two. The goalkeepers union there. All the substitutes, the coaches, the managers leave the field, and the stage will be left to the players. They know that within the next 5 or 10 minutes, one of them will be a hero and one of them will be a scapegoat. They'll all be hoping to avoid the latter. They all want the former. And Dick Campbell's just disappeared back up that tunnel, Chick.
That's the 4th time since the full-time whistle he's been in that dressing room.
Okay, he's got a nice stiff bottle in there, I would imagine, just to calm the nerves. And the Peterhead fans now taking it. It's been turned about, you know, the Partick Thistle fans, then the Peterhead fans. It's been a cracking atmosphere here. Thoroughly enjoyed our afternoon here at Balmoor. It's been a little longer than we might have anticipated. It's been every bit as dramatic and nerve-wracking as we might anticipate it. Kenny Arthur.
Richard, everybody loves these situations, but you're always worried for the guys that are going to be the ones that cost their team.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it cost your team the cup, like yesterday, felt sorry for those great players having done so well, and what a lot at stake for both sets of players here too.
Particularly in a situation like this. The first penalty kick will be taken by Partick Thistle. It'll be taken by Mark Roberts. Scott Davey.
And the gamesmanship started. Paul Mathers has come off his line, the assistant manager of Peterhead. He's pointing that he wants the ball right on the spot. Alan Freeland is going up to Mark Roberts. Mark Roberts, the first Partick Thistle player in 14 years to score over 20 goals in the regular season. He got his 22nd this afternoon, of course, to help Partick Thistle get to the stage. The experienced player then steps up. Mathers is back on his line at the goal away to our left, and Roberts casually sends the keeper the wrong way and confidently, as you'd expect from such an experienced striker, knocks it into the back of the net. Partick Thistle have the advantage by 1 penalty to 0, and now it's Dougie Cameron whose penalty goal decided the semi-final against Morton. The only goal in 180 minutes. He scored it from the penalty spot just 8 days ago here at the other end of the field. Kenny Arthur in his 264th appearance, the longest serving player still at Firhill. Dougie Cameron, well, he has to go up and respot the ball again. That doesn't help. It's going to be Cameron to step it up, and he drives it, and it's a terrific save, and Partick Thistle's longest serving player is the hero. Might that be the decisive moment? It's Peterhead trailing by 1-0 in the penalty, and the pressure is all on Paul Mathers, Chick.
Dick Campbell just didn't watch that. You know, he sat in the dugout and the Thistles players in front of him. We can't see it, Scott. He sat down. I have to say he's lit up a cigarette and very nervous indeed, not watching it. But he's come up to watch this next penalty kick we take for the Jags.
They have the advantage now. Partick Thistle, can they keep the nerve? 4 penalties away from the First Division. Sean Kilgannon steps up and buries it into the bottom left-hand corner of the net and goes off to celebrate with those Thistle fans now. So players lining up to take the spot kick celebrate as well. And the pressure intensifies for Craig Tully as he makes the long, trudging step forward from the halfway line, spots it up. Kenny Arthur has already saved one. Again, the gamesmanship from the goalkeeper. He comes out and complains that the ball's not on the spot. I think he's actually got something justifiable to complain about, and Alan Freeland goes up to Craig Tully and tells him to just move it back onto the penalty spot. Kenny Arthur prepares to face it. It's the start of his testimonial year this Wednesday with a golf outing at Haggs Castle. How he will celebrate if he's the hero today. Tully steps up and scores, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, much to the relief of the Peterhead players and the Peterhead fans who find their voice again. It's 1-1 on penalties, but it's still advantage to Partick. They've still got their second penalty and it's going to be a chance for Gibson to step up. It is of course 2-1 to Partick Thistle. My mistake. So much drama going on here, but Roberts converting the first one, and now it is a chance for the man whose deflected free kick took them into extra time to step up, Billy Gibson, and again he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Paul Mathers has to pick the ball out of the net, and the pressure intensifies, and it will be the substitute, Keith Gibson, to go forward. He became a father on Wednesday. He missed the first leg of the final to be at the birth of his first son, Miller. He will be desperate to round off his afternoon by scoring from the 12-yard mark. Drives it in and puts it wide of the target. And Partick Thistle are 1 penalty away now from a place in the First Division next season. It's high drama at Peterhead. And stepping forward to take it, it's going to be Will Snowden. He scored the winner against Cali Thistle. He's got the opportunity now to put them 3-1 up on penalties. Snowden it is, the former Livingston player. As Gibson's taken away, inconsolable there, back to the centre circle. Snowden, and it's saved by the goalkeeper, and Peterhead have been given a lifeline by their assistant manager. Paul Mathers dived to his left-hand side and parried it away, and as Kenny Arthur goes back towards his goal, he just has, with that goalkeeper's union situation, just saying well done to Paul Mathers for pulling off that save. Kenny Arthur pushed back onto his goal line, and it's going to be Mathers himself to take the penalty. Paul Mathers spotting it up. Such drama here, and it's the assistant manager, it's the goalkeeper who saves just a second ago, has rekindled some hope for Peterhead, who steps up and lashes it into the corner of the net. Terrifically taken penalty. So Paul Ritchie stepping up, and it's Paul Ritchie who can win it for Partick Thistle. If he buries this, the substitute, so experienced of course, was with Dick Campbell at Brecon City. It's Paul Ritchie to put Partick Thistle into the First Division, and he scores, and they celebrate. They came back at the death, and they have eased 10 years of pain. They missed out dramatically a decade ago in the playoff against Dundee United for a place in the top flight. They came back at the death in this game with an injury time equalizer from Gibson. It was deflected in. They have now gone on to win the dramatic penalty shootout. Paul Ritchie kept his nerve, as you would expect from an experienced player. He sent Mathers the wrong way. He has sent Partick Thistle back up into the First Division. Dick Campbell's on the field celebrating, and he's with Chick Young.
Dick, how you feeling? You're a wreck, aren't you?
No. It doesn't harm, Chick. It doesn't harm.
There's no point in doing something the easy way when you can do it a difficult way.
Well, I'm just telling you, I've been criticised. I've had it all my life. That 15 times we've come back, and I'm not wearing my shirt. Partick Thistles got the first division, and I'm very proud of that.
And your players.
Magnificent, absolutely magnificent.
There's a tear in your eyes, son.
Well, I tell you what, they were magnificent. Thanks, Jack, thanks.
I know you want to get the guys, Nick. I'll get you when you've calmed down here, Panic. Incredible scenes out here.
There's more than a tear in his eye. He is completely and utterly distraught. He's absolutely taken over by emotion. Balmore is absolutely covered in Partick Thistle fans. They are everywhere. They have absolutely swamped this pitch, and I mean, it's all very good natured at the moment. Let's hope that it doesn't turn nasty at all. But immediately that Paul Ritchie dispatched that penalty, they raced onto the park, the Partick Thistle fans from well, they made the stand across there, and from down below us too, and they are celebrating. Some of the players still out there. Mark Roberts making his way through the throng of players there, and I'm just looking to see whether there'll be one or two others. Chick Young's down there.
Yeah, I've got a hold of Mark Roberts. Mark, what a way to go back. I mean, unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, it's the last kick of the ball in normal time that's got us there, and we've floated away, and we never give up here, and we've done it again today. It was absolutely brilliant, but some way to win. It's a full season, so I feel so sorry for Peterhead. We've done the business and we're there, so we're going to celebrate.
That goal, and almost the last kick of the ball in the 90 minutes. What happened?
It's a free kick edge of box. He's just hit it, took a deflection, and it's went in. It's just the wee bit of luck that we've needed, and we've got it. And that's us there. So.
On the Wednesday night, I heard you having a real go at yourself and your teammates. You said we were murdered, we didn't deserve it. But to be fair to you, showing an unbelievable character today.
We've done it all season. I think that was 15 times this season we've been behind. We've always come back, and it just shows the character of the boys. And every single one of the guys in there deserve it.
I think you want to get that part of the dressing room. I'll let you go. Well done, Mark. Congratulations.
I have to say, some of the Peterhead fans are throwing pies at the Partick Thistle fans, and there was just a moment there where it might have got a wee bit nasty as one or two fans took umbrage. So I think the police just have to keep an eye on this and just keep it absolutely calm. In the main, the Partick Thistle fans celebrating in good nature, and the Peterhead fans many of them have walked off. One or two just staying here to watch the culmination. But you've got to say, Partick Thistle fans, Brian's just pointing out there are police dogs down there on the pitch in actual fact. Partick Thistle, great travelling support. It really has been a phenomenal support. They're absolutely overjoyed. They are on the pitch now. They're calling for the league officials are down there, and I think they're calling for a presentation, but it surely can't happen while the fans are all round the pitch. I didn't even realise there was a trophy available for the Scottish playoffs. It would appear there must be something, because there's a table down there and there are league officials down there, so we're just waiting to see what's going to emerge. I have to say, I feel so sorry for Peterhead. They put so much into that game, and they've had that cruelly snatched away from them. Chick Young down in the tunnel.
Well, I managed to get through the throng into the relative safety of the tunnel here, and Will Snowden's just come up to me and said, where he's come off the pitch, said, well, I can't find all the boys. He said, I said, they're in the dressing room. He was the last player. Kenny Arthur is not. He wasn't the last player, because I've just grabbed Kenny Arthur. Kenny, you were mumping and moaning at full time on Wednesday. You're a different man now, aren't you?
I think that shows the two contrasted emotions that football can throw up. You know, the squad we've got together, we never say die, we never give up. I think we showed that today, even losing an early goal. We didn't give up, and we battled through. Delighted for everybody.
The fans out there, I thought all the boys were in the dressing room. You're the last man left out there. You're quite safe out there. They're just thinking they're just going to get you bits of you as a souvenir, actually, but the Thistle fans, they've had hard times. They deserve this.
No, they certainly have had hard times over the last couple of years, and hopefully that's just part of the payback for them. You know, they come and support us, 4-hour drive, and they support us in numbers like that. You know, it's a massive big thank you we've got to give them.
And if you're going to start a testimonial year, then a penalty shootout to get you back in the first division is a good way to launch it.
Well, it certainly is. You know, but it's not just about me, it's about the rest of the boys as well. I think it's a man we stood up and we were counted today. And to be fair, we've done that for most of the season as well.
And now with the boys back out, as you can hear, Kenny, I'll let you go.
Yeah, we can see them just off to our side.
They're just going to come into the tunnel, Richard. It's happened.
We can actually see them through the wire fence here, and then they'll be appearing just into the tunnel area. And now the fans absolutely surround them. There's a big hug from one fan for Jimmy Bowen, a Thistle legend, of course. The players out there, I mean, they're all almost swamped by those Partick Thistle fans, but they're celebrating down there. All the players have got their arms around each other, they're bouncing up and down, and Grant Murray and Paul Ritchie, guys who have played at a higher level, who have perhaps been involved in bigger things, but this is a huge occasion for Partick Thistle. It means so much for them, of course, as the guys have been saying. It could have meant question marks over whether there would be full-time football next season had they failed to get that place in the First Division. Dick Campbell is being kissed by Partick Thistle fans. I cannot believe that grown men want to kiss Dick Campbell. Chick.
I nearly kissed Jimmy Bowen, which is just as bad. Jimmy, a party behind you is unbelievable. I'm going to have to hang on to you here, but what a way to win a football match.
A lot of tension. I feel really sorry for Peterhead, but we might not be the best team in the world, but I tell you what, we've got plenty of metal about us, and it was a fascinating afternoon.
And we found out that Dick Campbell was an emotional old son, so he actually was speeches at the end, and emotion just choking him.
Oh, well, I know Nick for a long time. I know what like is, and I knew he was nervous today, and I've never seen him nervous before. He normally just breezes in and out of football matches, and he was really nervous and he was uptight about it. He knows how much it means to the club, and he's done a great job this year, and it's just fantastic for us to get there.
Yeah, because there's men in black and yellow and red scarves now snogging him behind you as we actually get enveloped here.
That's why I'm going back to them.
It's, you're back in the big time, Jimmy. It means a lot to the club.
Yeah, it's a great thing to happen.
We're going. I think we'll get a good idea.
I'll tell you what, before the game, Chick was actually covered as they pushed that extending tunnel out. Now he was up the safety of it, and they pushed it back, and he's been exposed to all those Partick Thistle fans. Chick, were the players actually given anything? Because there were league officials out there, they had a couple of tables out there, they had a board out there. Did they actually give them a trophy, or were there medals of any kind?
No, it's not.
I don't think there were, no.
There was... Sorry, scenes of absolute chaos in here. David Thompson from the Scottish Leagues there. I think they were trying to make some kind of presentation. The huge board, the Bells board, the photograph. They had no chance. You've got a better idea.
I wonder, Chick, if all they were actually going to do was to get that board out, get the players in behind it, and then they'll get the photographers to get a few snaps. But of course, the pitch was completely consumed.
Well, what they've now done is taken the players, the Thistle players and the management into the safety of the dressing room. They've shut the doors just at the tunnel mouth here. And I'm kind of left here isolated with these Thistle fans who are now singing Let's All Laugh at Morton, which will not be doing well.
Dick Campbell, he's just stood up in the chair right down below us. I think he might be about to address the fans. He's blowing kisses to them. It would have been all so different had that deflected free kick from Billy Gibson not gone in. 2 minutes into stoppage time, you can hear the Thistle fans. This is unbelievable. They're all shouting speech. They want Dick Campbell to address them. One of our technicians is holding a microphone near Dick Campbell. I wouldn't do that, given the language that Dick Campbell can be known to use at times.
Yeah, you're on the radio.
But right, this could be scary, folks. He's about to address the Partick Thistle fans. I don't know if they'll get the chance to hear him or not.
I'll tell you.
Can he hear you?
I'll tell you who got Partick Thistle up the day. Each and every one of you here today.
Well done. Thank you, Dick, for choosing your words so carefully. That was one of the scarier moments of my broadcasting career, I have to say. But he's done a wonderful job, Dick Campbell. He did a remarkable job at Brecon City, and he's done a great job here. I'll tell you, the players are now in behind us. Kenny Arthur up in the stand, Scott McCulloch and Grant Murray, Stephen Nicholas, all cheering and waving down to the Partick Thistle fans. It is really a very emotional moment. Mark Smith down there, handshake with a fan in the stand, and I have to say I thought he was fantastic for Partick Thistle in defence. He maybe wasn't quite so effective in midfield in the first leg, but what a game that he did.
I would say man of the match today.
Absolutely, and they're absolutely thrilled. We're back down with Chick.
I've got a calmer Dick now. I know the emotion was choking you at the end. You saluted the supporters there, but your players showed a lot of character.
Chick, it's my anniversary today. My mother's pretty sick in the hospital. I was for half to start with. Secondly, I'm big enough in this game to stand criticism. This game never ever fails to intrigue me and interest me. At half time I said to the players, hey, we're in this game, we need one goal. And I've took a chance the second half. I went 3 up, 4 up, and we could have been buried. That's the chances you take. And all credit to them, their fitness, their attitude towards it. It's a sad time of year in a lot of ways. Tomorrow I've got to pull into so many boys who might not be here next year. But I've got a bit of humility about me. And Partick Thistle, I know everybody, people have said about.
We've been lost in a Partick Thistle pub back.
Look, the rules are set down at the start of the season. We have to get out of this league, and we're out of the league chicken. Honestly, I'm just totally, I couldn't describe how I feel.
Is that a difference between part-time and full-time football for the club next year?
I think we did that getting the cup games. We took Hearts all the way in, and that has secured everything for us now. And now I've got to go and build a football team worthy of fans like that.
I've got to congratulate you on getting through that. I knew that was happening. I congratulate you getting through that interview with a serious face, with the players dropping flags and now champagne all over us. I thought you were magnificent.
God bless my mum, Chick. That's what I'm saying.
I'll think to that.
Thanks very much.
Take care. I wish you all the best.
Dick Campbell down there in the it's just the extension of the tunnel area with Chick. I've got to say well done to the Thistle fans now, because they're out there on the pitch. The players are in the stand in here, and 1 or 2 have come up in the stand, but in the main they've just stayed down there. They're absolutely overjoyed. You've heard the songs, the players are all joining in. 1 or 2 photographers who have made the trip to Balmoor, getting some snaps you'll see in your daily papers over the next couple of days. Just a couple of Peterhead Neds throwing some plastic bottles over to the side there, and that might have led to something, but they've now run off, and I think there's enough good spirit out there among the Partick Thistle fans that nothing untoward is going to happen. It's I have to say, you almost feel as if you're part of this whole thing. We've got the fans right down below us, we've got the players right behind us.
It's the closest
I'll ever get.
celebrations, yeah. Closest we've ever been in celebrations, that's for sure. But it's they're well behaved. It's very good spirits, and you feel sorry because this is Peterhead's ground. It's their day, and yet it's a day that's gone sour for them. Having a lead to get into the game, Richard, and then finishing off today by losing when they had the chance to go into the highest level of football they've ever been in. You can tell what a blow it is, but Partick Thistle are enjoying their moment now. This is a big step for Thistle to get back into getting closer to what is the big time for them, and they're certainly laughing it up.
Well, I've got to say, Grant Murray is bit by bit taking off all his clothes and handing them to young spectators. And 1 or 2 of the fans I've got up here have got little mementos that they will keep for the day. 1 or 2 I saw were asking Kenny Arthur for the goalie gloves, but he obviously wants to keep them, I think. It's been a special day, it's a special year for Kenny, the longest serving player at Firhill. He's got that testimonial coming up, and of course he made a very crucial contribution during the penalty shootout. And I thought it was great to hear him there. He wasn't at all happy, Brian, after the first leg. He felt he shouldn't have conceded that goal. He felt the referee had got it wrong, but he said there, it just sums up the contrast in this game and what it means to us all.
The highs and the lows, a bit like Paul Hartley yesterday, all the highs he's been receiving, and he gets sent off in the last minute of the final. That's a low, and then he wins the cup and he's a high again. It's the same for the Partick Thistle players today. They must have felt so disappointed after Wednesday night. They've come back today in the last minute of the game. Let's not forget, 1 minute to go. They've equalised, otherwise there would be none of this. But all credit to the Partick Thistle supporters to enjoy their moment, and they deserve their moment today. And very commiserations to Peterhead, but congratulations to Partick Thistle.
Getting a wee bit of stick here, I think, from these good-natured Partick Thistle fans. I do feel sorry for Peterhead, I really do. But actually, when you see that, you see the potential that this club has, the support that this club has, and when they do get up, there's a lot there. There's a lot there that they can offer the game.
They shouldn't be in such a low position, this Thistle. Thistle should, at the very worst, be a Division 1 club, and with the potential to be back in the Premier Division, no doubt about it.
I spoke with Brian McMaster last year when I was over with Scotland under-16 team in Belgium, and he was very critical of the playoffs. Now I wonder what he'd be saying about the playoffs just now. Okay, he said to go through the emotions, he said to go through the penalty shootout, but for his club to be in the first division, he'll be glad of the playoffs now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it's been a fantastic thing for them to get there, and and they're singing "Let's All Laugh at Morn." It is a shame.
Well, don't ever write us off. That was the message from the Partick Thistle boss Dick Campbell after his side won promotion to the First Division. The Glasgow side finished 4th in the Second Division, 31 points behind winners Gretna, but were able to take advantage of the playoffs. And the Jags finally overcame Peterhead in a dramatic penalty shootout at Balmoor after 210 minutes of football failed to separate the teams.
It's a special day for Partick Thistle fans. It's my anniversary today. God bless my wife. My mother's pretty sick in the hospital, so it's a very, very emotional day for me. But it's nothing to do with Dick Campbell, it's to do with your players. I thought they were magnificent. I mean, that's 15 times we've came back this year for people who start writing us off. And we don't ever write us off. And today I think they got their just desserts. And I'm very, very happy to be the manager of Partick Thistle today.
Now, Partick Thistle boss Dick Campbell hopes his side's promotion to the First Division will silence the critics who have been hounding him all season. The Fairhill side made it back up following a dramatic penalty shootout victory over Peterhead on Sunday. In a moment, we'll speak to Jags chairman Brown McMaster. But first, here's Claire Stevens with a look back at the action.
Enjoying the moment, and well Partick Thistle might. For long enough, it looked as if they would fail in their attempt to get back into the First Division at the first attempt. The support that followed them to Peterhead had been put through the ringer, and their cheers were as much of relief as celebration. Thistle had come into the second leg of this playoff 2-1 down from the first game in Glasgow and got off to the worst possible start when Martin Bavidge was sent clear in the 5th minute and made no mistake. But Thistle were up to the challenge. Only 3 minutes later, Mark Roberts made it 1-1. But Thistle still needed 1 goal. It came 2 minutes into injury time. A Billy Gibson free kick took a deflection off the Peterhead defence and Thistle had made it to extra time. The penalty shootout might not have been quite the same as those at Hampden or Cardiff, but try telling that to the players. Peterhead missed 2 and Thistle missed 1 before Paul Ritchie sparked off the Jags' winning celebrations. It's been a difficult season for Dick Campbell, but now he has the SPL in his sights.
We're living within our means now, and that may well give us a wee bit more money to get some players in. But to be fair, it's not about me or Partick Thistle, it's about the players. Everybody had written us off this year. But don't ever write any team that I'm running off.
And the players recognise the importance of their achievement.
It's massive, you know, it's 190 minutes has brought us up with division and all the financial implications that brings with it. You know, from a player's point of view, you set out your objectives at the start of the season. We're so happy to have achieved them.
So, Partick Thistle back in Division 1. Well, one man who loves the sound of that is Jags chairman Brown McMaster, who joins me now. Brown, are you back down from Cloud 9 yet?
Yes, I think so. It was a super day, yes. It was absolutely fabulous and we've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we're delighted to be straight back into Division 1 because that's where we want to be, because it gives us a platform to go back into the SPL.
Yeah, let's just talk about that. What does this mean for Partick Thistle from a financial point of view? Because had you not been promoted, then there was talk of part-time football at Fairhill.
Well, I think the cup run saved us. I think the two games in television and, you know, the games against Hearts and getting the cup quarter-final made a big difference, and we would have been able to sustain one more year. But where this gives us a huge advantage is that when you're in the second division, you're 2 steps away from the SPL. We are two steps away from that dream. When you go into the first division, you're only 1 step away, and that's why we need to be there. And it makes a big difference.
You know that there were a number of Thistle fans who wanted Dick Campbell out during the season. Presumably the board of directors feel vindicated in standing by him?
I think so. I think we had to give him the full season. I mean, there's no doubts about that. He came in and he had a task to do. The task was to get us out of the division and win a few cup ties, and he got us out of the division. To be honest with you, the playoffs is really going to be the only way. We ran up against Gretna with only 1 automatic spot. Gretna were always going to get that, so we're going to have to rely on the playoffs. We got to the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup where we ran Hearts close, so I think it's been a very, very good season. Just finally and very briefly, Brown, what does this mean for next season in terms of players in and players out? Well, I think it lets the manager spend a bit more money, and I hope that they can do deals with some of the players we've got. OK, Brown, thanks so much for joining us this evening, and best of luck for next season. Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you.